Hello students, this is Amardeep Singh, your ICT teacher, and in previous session we discussed about how to create a checkbox and radio buttons, and in this session we'll discuss about how to create text area, list box and drop-down list. So let's get started. First we will discuss how to create text area. Text area means a multi-line text field. That means if you want to create a text box where you want to enter multiple lines, like you want to give address or you want to give accept remarks from user, then you have to use text area instead of using text box. Text box was a single line text box where you will enter only one line at a time. But in case of text area, we can enter multiple lines at the same time. So to create a text area, we are having a tag. Text area is a paired tag. That means it's a container tag. Then you have to close this tag. So now no need to use input tag to create any text area. We have to use text area tag. And next we will discuss about attributes of text area and how to add text area. We can add multi-line text box in a form by using text area tag. It's a container tag. It's a tag that need to be closed after opening. So various attributes belong to this tag are rows, calls, and name. Name is the common attribute for all the input elements or all the form elements. Name attribute, as we discussed earlier, that it is used to decide the identity of any control. But two attributes which are different from other attributes are rows and calls. Rows equal to number of rows. That means you have to assign a number. For example, here we have assigned rows equal to 5. That means we are going to create a text area with 5-line visibility of 5 lines, but you can give any number of, you can type any number of lines in that text area, but only 5 lines will be visible in front of you at a time on the web browser, inside web browser. And next we are having calls. No need to write complete columns. Calls means columns. Calls decide the number of characters, or you can say the width of that text area. Here we have assigned calls equal to 20. That means the width of text area is 20. And name, as we know that it is the identity of text area. So now we'll write the code how to create text area. For example, you have to write text area without any space in between. Text area is a one word. Text area rows equal 5, then calls equal 20, then I'll write enter your address, then text area, close this tag. Then I'll save the form and check the output. So here we are having text area, and here we can write lines. 5 lines will be visible at a time, as you can see, but we can add any number of lines. If you will add more than 5 lines, a scroll bar will be visible, and you can scroll down or scroll up the contents. So that's all about text area. Then next we will discuss about drop-down list. A drop-down list is a list of items or options, you can say options, from which we can select one item at a time. That means by using a drop-down list, we can add multiple items into a drop-down list, but we can select only one item at a time. For example, if you want to accept city, state, or country name from user, then you can use drop-down list at that time. Instead of giving option to user to type the country name or to type the city name, you can give him or her option to select from the given options. So here we have an example of country name equals to name India. Then here we are having a button, drop down button. When you will click on this button on a form, then it will explore all the items available in that list. So to create a drop down list, we are having two tags. One is select, that is the root tag, and option. Select tag is used to create a drop down list, and option tag is used to create to add items into that list. So in next slide we'll discuss how to create drop down list. To create a drop down list, we have to use select and option tags combinedly. Select is the parent tag and option is the nested tag, and we have to use option tag inside the select tag pairs. So before using option tag, we have to start select tag, and after using option tag we have to close that tag. The attributes that we can use with the select tag is name in this case to create a drop down list. Then name, that is the identity of select tag. Then attributes that we can use with option tag, that is selected. If you want some item to be initially selected, then you have to use selected, but this one is an optional attribute of option tag. So we'll discuss how to create. So here we are having text area, we'll remove this one. So let's start with, let's suppose you want to display list of countries, then country or anything that you can give. Then select, you have to give name, it will be the identity of this tag. Then option, give first item, let's suppose I give India, then option. In the same way you can add any number of items. I'll copy and paste multiple items. Then so here we are having 4 items. I'll change the name of country, England, Canada, America. Then after adding options to your list, you have to close the select tag. Select. So it's all about select tag, and we will check the output. So here we are having list of items. Country is the option that we have provided as a label in front of the combo box, this drop down list. Then when you will click on this drop down list, then it will explore all the name of country, but you can select one item at a time only. So that's all about option select and option tags. And if you want England as initial selected country, then you have to use selected option attribute with option like selected, then save it. Then now you will check that England is the initially selected country in this drop down list. So that's all about creating drop down list. And next we'll discuss how to create a scrolling list. According to your book, it is specified as a combo box, but that is actually a scrolling list. Scrolling list basically is a list of items, same as a drop-down list, but the difference is that we can select one or multiple items at a time in scrolling list. And same tag, same set of tags are used to create scrolling list we have used in uh, drop down list. So that means we have used select and option tag, and same tags we will use here to create a scrolling list. So the only difference is that we must specify size attribute with select tag. We'll discuss in next slide. So scrolling list is used in those situations where we will uh, select multiple items uh, by giving options. For example, known languages. So it may be situation that you may know multiple languages. Then you in that case you have to select multiple items from this list. So if you want to select multiple items, then you have to use control key. By pressing control key, you have to click on one after one items. So in next slide, we'll discuss how to create and use. We can add scrolling list in HTML form using select tag by specifying name as a name equals to number. That means number of visible items at a time. So if you want to convert a combo box or a drop down list into scrolling list, then you have to specify size attribute as an extra attribute. And option tag is similar to the previous tag, previous example in drop down list. So here we have created a scrolling list, select name equal to s1, and the extra attribute that we must specify size equal to number of visible item. You can specify 3, 2, 4 or any number of. Then in the same way, options will be added to the select scrolling list, and attributes of select tag are name, size, and one is multiple. If this attribute, name is the identity, size is number of visible item at a time, and multiple. If by default from scrolling list you can choose only one item at a time, but if you want that scrolling list to select multiple items at a time, then you have to specify multiple without specifying any value to it. Only multiple you have to write. So let's start with this one. So in this case, I'll create another one. I'll give break, then known languages. So we'll start with this one. Select, then select, close this one, and after closing I'll add the options. Now we'll add items, option, then English, then close, option. I'll copy this tag and paste to add multiple items. So we will add 4 items. English, let's go by specify Punjabi, Hindi, Tamil, or anything else that you want to add. So first we'll see what is the output of this code only. So the same code will create a drop down list of items, but we want a scrolling list. Then what you have to specify first is the name. Let's suppose I write the name equal to as2. The extra attribute that we must specify, we must write here to create and convert this list to scrolling list, that is size equals to, let's suppose I specify 3. That means it will display 3 items at a time. First 3 items and fourth item you can show by scrolling the list. So in this way, so this number decide how many items will be visible at a time in front of you. By default, scrolling list, from a scrolling list we can select only one item at a time. If you will select another, the previous will be unselected. So if you want this scrolling list to convert into multi-selection, then what you have to do, you have to specify multiple. Then now check. Now you can select multiple items, but for that you have to, suppose I want to select English and Hindi, then you have to press Control key from keyboard, then select first item, then second item. Now you can see that English and Hindi both are selected options. So in this way we can create a scrolling list of items. So now we are having activity section. In previous session we discussed about text box, password box, radio buttons, checkbox, but now we will in next activity you have to create this form. In here we use previous control like text box, name, text box, address. Here we are having text area, password, that is password box, gender, these are the radio buttons, hobbies, and these are the check boxes, country, and here we are having drop down list. Then known languages, then here we are having list of languages from where you have to select multiple items. So this one is the activity that you have to do after this lecture. Or if you are having any kind of doubt, then feel free to contact me. Thank you very much. That's all about current session.